Finding a lost loved one. The same thing happens when we lose any of our beloved ones. When conditions are not right to support life, they withdraw. When I lost my mother, I suffered a lot. When we are only 7 or 8 years old, it is difficult to think that one day we will lose our mother. Eventually we grow up, and we all lose our mothers. But if you know how to practice, when the time comes for the separation, you will not suffer too much. You will very quickly realize that your mother is always alive within you. The day my mother died, I wrote in my journal, "A serious misfortune of my life has arrived." I suffered for more than 1 year after the passing away of my mother. But one night in the highlands of Vietnam, I was sleeping in the hut in my hermitage. I dreamt of my mother. I saw myself sitting with her, and we were having a wonderful talk. She looked young and beautiful, her hair flowing down. It was so pleasant to sit there and to talk to her as if she had never died. When I woke up, it was about 2 in the morning, and I felt very strongly that I had never lost my mother. The impression that my mother was still with me was very clear. I understood then that the idea of having lost my mother was just an idea. It was obvious in that moment that my mother is always alive in me. I opened the door and went outside. The entire hillside was bathed in moonlight. It was a hill covered with tea plants, and my hut was set behind the temple halfway up. Walking slowly in the moonlight through the rows of tea plants, I noticed my mother was still with me. She was the moonlight caressing me, as she had done so often. Very tender, very sweet, wonderful. Each time my feet touched the earth, I knew my mother was there with me. I knew this body was not mine alone, but a living continuation of my mother, and my father, and my grandparents and great-grandparents, of all my ancestors. These feet that I saw as my feet were actually our feet. Together my mother and I were leaving footprints in the damp soil. From that moment on, the idea that I had lost my mother no longer existed. All I had to do was look at the palm of my hand, feel the breeze on my face, or the earth under my feet, to remember that my mother is always with me, available at any time.